Hi everyone, welcome back to Total War Therapy, and today we're gonna analyze the army bonuses from the campaign traits and the skill trees for every Kislev Legendary Lords to determine their best army composition and formation at the price of 16,000 money. This is an experimental video, so please leave me your review at the end of what it can be improved. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy, and let's begin. Let's start with one of my favorite legendary lords in all the game. I'm talking about Tzarina Katarin. Unit-wise in her campaign, she boosted the Ice Guard, that is, according to the lore, her personal elite warriors, and the Snow Leopard, that, as I said in many previous videos, it's not a unit that I suggest to recruit, but we will do it just for the sake of this video. Then she boosted all the defensive attributes for her army and the magic abilities. So in short, you can first Doomstack the Ice Guard that are very powerful high tier units, and then you can build a more defensive and more magical focused army. As you can see, the Tzarina Katarin army is focused on the Ice Guard. That are very elite units, very expensive, that's why we had to compensate with some Kislev warriors that are very cheap, and honestly they are quite powerful. They are bread and butter, but they do their job quite well. We can deploy them as a mid shield and as a front line to defend our Ice Guard. That it's true that they have some strong melee capabilities, but at the same time is better if they perform at the beginning as missile units, because their frostbite arrows are very effective at their job. But they can slow down the enemy approaching, and then they can hit hard both with their glaives and with their dual swords. I recruited also a Snow Leopard, not because I think that is effective, but because as a challenge I want to try to make him survive. The cavalry of Tzinch is already trying to circle us around, but we have the Ice Guard with glaives that are perfect for this job, because they can throw their arrows against the cavalry and then defend with the glaives when the cavalry will charge. In this case, the Kislev warriors, they don't have to attack. They have to play defensively, so just stand still and wait for the enemy to attack you. If the enemy doesn't attack you, you don't have to move them, okay? They are your wall, so you don't need to play with them. The only thing that you have to do is to move and play with your Ice Guard. Of course, Tzinch has some powerful magic, so you have to try to get rid of the spellcasters as soon as possible. But it's not that easy, because they are quite elusive, and in this case we have 2 Chaos Warriors sorcerers, so they are even armored. But I mean, we can do a good job. But there are the horrors that have some strong missile attack, and even the flamers, so we have to take care of them first. Our Kislev warriors can manage to to keep busy the infantry of Tzinch, that I mean is not the strongest infantry in the world. So for now we have to focus our missile attacks and the Ice Guard power, that is the only damage dealers that we have here on them. I summoned a new Snow Leopard to keep busy the Soul Grinder of Tzinch, that can be quite damaging. Oh, there is a unit of chariots that is attacking our back. This can be a problem, we were not prepared for that, but yeah. The Ice Guard has some armor piercing arrows, so it's not a big problem. They can take care of that. Okay, they're not doing it, but yeah, they will do it in a while. It's very hard to take care of the wizards from Tzinch, because as I said, they are very armored, so it's definitely not easy. And yeah, we can send Tzarina Katarin to help with the wizard. There was a unit of Tzinch that managed to penetrate our formation, but it's not a problem, because as I said, we can use our second layer of melee warriors that are the Ice Guard, and we can use, as you can see in this specific situation, one unit of Ice Guard in the melee mode, so to keep them busy, while all the other Ice Guard can still throw their missile arrows that are definitely stronger than their melee skills. And at this point we just won the battle. Does no Leopard manage to survive, and this is the greatest victory we achieved in this battle. I'm very happy for that, and I mean, he can boost with his friends that he managed to destroy a Soul Grinder of Tzeentch. Even if we know that he was just a demon and Tzeentch was calling him back. The second legendary lord that we're gonna address is Kostaltyn. Honestly, at the beginning, at the release of Total War Warhammer 3, I didn't like this character, but over time I realized that he was like Rasputin, the Russian historical character, and everything changed. About his campaign traits, he boosted all the low tier units, so the Kislev warriors, the Kossars, and the low tier cavalry. About his skill trees, he doesn't enhance anymore these units, but it increased the melee stats, the charge bonus, the speeds, and he gives a couple of attributes to all the units of his army. So you can build a more offensive and aggressive army composition for your Kislev campaign. So you can very short build a Doomstack, a very powerful Doomstack of Kossars that are great units, and you will see that you can make magic. Now this is the time to shine for Kostaltyn. As you can see, we have basically a Kossars, a light Kossars Doomstack that, believe me, can be quite powerful. We boosted their experiences. We had some horses that I will show you later how we will use them. We have two patriarch, I mean Kostaltyn and another patriarch. In this case, I really needed an additional hero because, as you know, the Kossars have low leadership compared to other elite units from Kislev. So we need an additional leadership aura that that increase the chances they will keep fighting and not run away when the monsters of Nargol will attack us. Since they are all Kossars and all hybrids, we will have 2 layers of missile attack and 2 layers of melee defendant, and this is great. We can put 2 more to cover the side, and we have basically a rectangle of destruction. We can put our 2 heroes in the middle and then start the army with our cavalry. It's important to say that the cavalry of Kislev, the light cavalry of Kislev, will deal no damage to the Nargol units that are quite sturdy. They're generally armored I mean, they're resilient, so I mean they're very hard to take down with this very light cavalry. But we need to annoy them, to distract them. See, these units, the frogs of Nargol and the chariots, we can distract them and keep them busy while the rest of the army focus on the rest of the Nargol army. This is good because the chariots are, more expensive. They have more value than our horsemen. So if we use them to distract them, we are winning the game. We have an advantage. We can split now because the horsemen are enough to keep these 2 units busy, and we will use the Kossovit dervishes, that is the melee light cavalry for Kislev, to take care of the Nargol units when they will rout. This is an important role. They have an end game role, so you don't need necessarily to use them in the early game when in the early battle when the 2 front lines they haven't approached yet. I want to remind you that the legendary lords were playing against East Tamurkhan. I just put the casual army, building army, so I didn't expect to see Tamurkhan that, is not the best dude I want to fight, but is definitely a good challenge for our Kossars. And send our horsemen a little away, so they will still throw the arrows of the chariots and the frogs, while a spellcaster of Nargol with the fly attack us, and in this case Kostaltyn can easily take care of it. He's not a duelist of a character killer, but is sturdy, and when he started to lose health, he started to get even stronger, so we can definitely rely on that. Tamurkhan started to attacking, so it's better we focus all the fire of our second layer and the left part of the first layer of Kossars against it. With a rain of arrows upon him, Tamurkan can have a hard time. The Nargol spellcaster is starting to fall down. With the 2 layers, oh okay, they're attacking from the back, so we need to send some units, or maybe just the Patriarch to take care of the dog. We can start to send back to us our cavalry. The Tamurkan, it's almost lost. He has lost almost all his life. Unfortunately, the dogs attacked our Kossars, so we need other Kossars to take care of that. Then there is an unclean one, the Regimental Renown version, so we have to focus even on it. Once we took care of these 2 big monsters, big dudes for Nargol, it will be quite easy. Tamurkan is almost down. I think it's just matter of second, and there is no hero, no character in the nearby, so he will not take their health to recover, to get a second life, and finally he fell down. Funny, because our Doomstack of Kossars is actually resisting, and yes, the dogs didn't manage to attack their back. The chariot attack our side there, but it's definitely not a problem because our Kossars, I recruited only Kossars with the spears. And Kostaltyn was starting to get down, but as I said, he has some boost when he loses hit points and even the regeneration. Now the unclean one of Nargol, the unclean one of Nargol will fall down in just a few seconds, and if I remember correctly, this unit doesn't disappear like all the demons. I don't know why, but you will have this giant corpse in your battle forever. And yes, now we have some Nargol units that, as I said, they are resilient, so it's not that easy to take them down, but we definitely win the battle. Everyone is running away, and with a lot of success for army made only of low tier units, we managed to defeat the Nargol. We managed to defeat Tamurkan, the Maggot Lord. All this noise for nothing, for losing against an army of Kossars. I don't know, Tamurkan. You can do better than that. The third legendary lord we're gonna address is Boris Ursus. That is the Tzar of Kislev. That's why he boosts the Tzar guards. And then all the bear units, so the war bear riders and the elemental bear. Of course, these are all very elite units, so you need to compensate for the price with low tier warriors, and I will show you how to do it. In any case, you can build a more melee focus army, and if you play against the Chaos faction, you will be even more boosted. Now it's time for Boris Ursus. As you can see, we have a very little army because we had to recruit many elite and expensive units. The Tsar Guard, the Warbear Riders, the Elemental Bears, and then we fill our missile department with some Kossars with the spears. The first things we have to do is to deploy our Tsar Guard, just a little front line of 4 units. That he will be enough first because Khorne doesn't rely on magic, so we have no risk of bombardments, and then because they're quite elite, quite armored, so there is no problem with that. Our second line will be of Kossars, 2 to protect the sides with their spears, and the other 2 to just deal damage with their missile attacks, and then we have a couple of Tzar guards with the great weapons. We will send them where necessary because probably will be in the front line, but we want to keep them in the third line to keep the Kossars safe for now, and then the Warbear Riders to protect our sides, our flanks, and the Elemental Bears we need it at the front because it has the breath attack that he needs a clear sight to shoot it. Bull Taker is the chosen by our casual building generating thing for the game to defeat Boris Ursus. We will see if the strongest duelist of the lore will manage to take down the Tzar of Kislev. Oh, such a beautiful house. I really think we should make an appreciation video about the maps of this game. Khorne is already trying to flank us, to circle us around, but yeah, for our Kossars is definitely not a problem. I think yes, that yeah, there were some units hidden in the forest. We need to move a little forward our war bear riders to, I mean, attack in case Khorne will decide to attack our Kossars. The elemental bear can throw his attack, his breath, icy breath attack, and then we can send Boris Ursus to hit, to fight against Skulltaker. That is a duelist, yes, but in this case probably Boris is a little stronger because he's specialized against large units, while Skulltaker has the throne, the Skull throne, that is more focused. This is more specialized in infantry. The Tzar guard is defending good for now, but with Khorne you have to be careful because they are all damage dealer units. We can start to send our Tzar guard with great weapons to help our front line, and the war bear riders to take care of the sides, in this case against these amazing flesh hounds of Khorne. Our elemental bear riders has to be quite attentive, because I mean the chosen of Khorne, even if those one are anti-infantry, I mean they're still very sturdy with a lot of armor and very defensive. And yes, the Kossars are probably doing their job. We cannot see correctly because now the two front lines engaged. On the left side we're getting some troubles, but the right side is standing still. Wow, okay, Skulltaker is already starting to losing health. He will, yeah, probably will fight a little more against our poor Kossars, but yeah, it's done. It's done. He had his chance and he missed it. And oh yes, like that. Just a little explosion to end his amazing traveling life. And now we have the war bear riders that we can send against the chariots. Everything is going as planned. The elemental bear is, was about to fall, so we have to make him escape. And as you can see, our Tzar guard, even if, they are absorbing all the power of the Khorne charge, they are standing still, and we are proud of him. Now the only units that it will be a problem to take down will be the chosen of Khorne and the blood beast that yeah, we can use the charge, the war bear riders charge for the chosen, and the arrows against the blood beast that are going down. And yeah, everything got very well. I'm happy of this situation. The elemental bear can fight his last chosen, even if it's in a dangerous situation. It's still an elemental unit, so he will start to destroy itself. But yeah, Khorne at the end flee away. We at the end prove that even the most destroying chaos force of Khorne can do nothing against the resilience of the bear. The last legendary lord for Kislev, and I hope not the last that will be ever released in the game, is Mother Ostankya. Mother Ostankya has access to these little and big beasts from the forest, we can say, that are bats, spiders and bears, and she can boost all these units. She can boost their melee capabilities, their physical resistance, also of the things in the wood and the elemental incarnate of beast. You can build an army, focus on these unique units, and then cover the void with some Akshina ambushers, just because you get them and the Kislev warriors, because you get access to them with the DLC. So just to be thematic, and you will see that even with this army, not that Kislev, we can say, you will also have a lot of fun. Now is the turn of Mother Ostankya against Slaanesh. Slaanesh is a faction not necessarily hard to fight, but you have to be careful because it relies on very fast and aggressive attacks that if you don't manage correctly, you can lose easily and in very few minutes. But yeah, if you stand still and you are prepared to any circumstances, you will see that it's very easy to win. Now we can deploy our Akshina ambushers that will deal most of the damage in our second line, and we can protect them with some Kislev warriors, some spiders, and some bears. Then we can put our things of the wood in our, I mean, between the first and the second front line, because we want a second layer of protection, because Slaanesh charged very strong, so they can easily penetrate your formation, and against them you definitely need 2 layers before your missile units. We can send one special magical bear of Mother Ostankya just to have fun. Honestly, I could just take off this ability to save some money, but yeah, I wanted to use it at least once. So as you can see, we have some anti-large bears to cover our flanks. At the front there are the bread and butter Kislev warriors that are quite sturdy. The spiders, honestly, I already said in a video, they're not my favorite unit in this roster, but it's okay. I mean, they can do a good job. Then if I mean, more the giants, the little one, no, they're just incapable of doing anything. Against Slaanesh, I think that Mother Ostankya cannot afford to stay in the vanguard, because Slaanesh is faster, is the fastest faction in the game. Now we can put our bears more in the sides to, you know, because sooner or later they will start to charge, and I think it's very soon. We can use the magic of the hag to reduce the speeds of the Slaanesh units, so we will have a little more time to deal damage to them with our Akshina ambushers. We can send these bears against the spellcaster of Slaanesh with the Seeker Chariots. This is a huge advantage, because we can keep her spells away from the army. As you can see, they attack us with the 2 Keepers of Secrets that are quite dangerous, but yeah, we can move our second layers of Things of the Wood to help to support the Kislev warriors that are already losing a lot of health. We have our bears that are taking care of the spellcasters. These chariots are managed to hit our sides, and they will go against the Akshina ambushers that unfortunately they are quite fast, and sorry, they are enough defensive, and we can use our Akshina, the rest of the Akshina, to hit the Keeper of Secrets. That one is already going down, and I hope for the second. Then there are the Fiends of Slaanesh that can be a little annoying, and yeah, let's use a couple of magic. The Elemental Incarnate of Beast is doing a good job. He's not losing health, and he's keeping busy the other Lord of Slaanesh. On the right side, I think we already win the fight. We have just to, yeah, okay, definitely they are just running away, and they were demons. Why they ran? Oh, no, they were not fully demon. And yes, the elemental of bears, it's just amazing, but of course you cannot protect all your second lines. The spellcaster of the second spellcaster of Slaanesh, well, oh no, the only spellcaster of Slaanesh finally fell down, and yes, we won the battle in just 3 minutes, I think, and we were even defending. So yes, as you can see with Slaanesh, it's very easy. You have just to, you know, be careful and manage the situation correctly. And we prove that the Mother Ostankya, even using not only Kislev units but monsters and beasts, she can be truly effective.